When you get angry, it's burning started from your chest, right? Have you encountered that? Have you had that? Always. When you about to be angry, it starts to burn right here. This chest right here starts to get hot. And then it's gradually burning larger. It go all the way up here. That is when you cannot control yourself anymore. So before letting ourselves burn, when you see it's burning, take a deep breath. A deep breath. As many as you want. Keep on breathing, and then after you take like 3-4 times of deep breath, and then focus on your breathing. Focus on that breathing. It will calm you down right away. Okay? And then earlier when I say thoughts, when we have thought, we acknowledge it's a thought silently like that, and come back right here to breathing. And any type of thought arise, do that. Any type of sound, it doesn't matter. You could not focus when that beeping earlier because it's distraction, right? Distracted. Beep, 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 continuing like that. And that is where it pulls your mind to that location where that beeping sound. Is that right? So anything's moving, anything that is happening around us, if it's strong, it will pull us off track and we'll catch that thing. Very easy. And if we're mindful enough, that sound won't bother us. We still here with this breath right here. If you are mindful enough, if you're strong enough, then you will still live with this, but not with that sound. All you need to do is just acknowledge of that sound, observe that sound, come back to it here. Sensation on your body, itchy, numb, pain, anything, just acknowledge it. Pain, or numb, or itchy, anything, just observe it, acknowledge it, come back here. Keep bringing our concentration back to the breathing. That is how we practice mindfulness. And this takes a while for us to practice. At the beginning, you're probably going to be tired and easy to give up because you cannot see your breath. But it's okay. It's okay. Just give yourself some love and time. Be mindful with it. If you love your breath, you continue fighting. We don't need to go to the wall to fight anything out there. There's a wall inside of us that we need to fight. And we will spend the whole life to fight with ourselves. But a lot of the time we lose. Right? Even with our wall inside, we still cannot fight. Why would we like to go out there and fight out there for? If we can fight this war, if you can victory it, if you can win it, you will have peace. And that's why I say peace always begins from within. Within ourselves. It's not out there. The government can only bring external peace, which is protecting our country, safety for us to live. But for ourselves, we have to bring internal peace. Once we are at peace, our family members will also be at peace. And then we spread out that way to each and every family around us. That is how peace begins. That is how peace spread, step by step. If all of us can do this, I guarantee you, your family, yourself will be at peace. Every day, if you practice every day, you'll be able to manage your emotion, your feelings, and not reacting. You will be at peace for sure. Just like these days when you hear about the walk for peace, either online or hear from your friend, by that time it urged us to go see the monks, right? And when you left your house, get yourself to the car and drive into wherever that the monks walking. It takes some time for you to get there. It takes some time for you to find a parking space and then waited in the lines for hours to see the middle monks. Is that right? But how was it? Were you okay with it? Were you happy to do so? Were you at peace to do so when you do that? Or tired or what? Happy? Happy and peace. Because this is what you really want to do for yourself. This is what we're looking for, right? So we all in for that. It doesn't matter even in the cool weather like this, you're still coming out to wait for the venerable monks to come. This is peace. This is happiness, joy, everything. So what if every day is going to be like this? Right? Or it's just one time and then we go back to our old day. We don't want that. We want this moment right here, right now, to happen every single day within our life. If that happens, it's wonderful. This is the world where we want to live. This is how we want to live. Because suffering is enough. Enough is enough. We don't want to go back there. We don't want to continue doing that and make us suffer. As long as we know that this is benefits. And so we should continue doing that. Don't give up. The key is never give up. Regardless of what people say, what people do. We need to manage our emotion and our feelings, and we know this is best for us. Don't let anybody ruin our day. That's why I always tell everybody to write out that statement. Today is going to be my peaceful day. That's all you need to do. Today is going to be my peaceful day. And then throughout the day, just be mindful with it. Do one thing at a time, mindfully, pay fully attention to that thing when you're doing. Eating, just eating, nothing else. Changing, just focus on changing. Cleaning, washing dishes, just one thing at a time. When you're done with that, you can do something else. That's easy. But we are always multitask ourselves, that's why we cannot stay focused. And so this is a time right here that we need to change all that habit. To have a new habit, to change that old habit, we have to have a new habit. From watching movie and eating at the same time. So who is watching and who is eating? Right? If we see, it means that we don't chew. Even if we chew because we are multitask, but we don't know what we are chewing. Right? We don't know. That's why we do only this instead of both. So now is the time where we should change, okay? Regardless of how difficult it is, we still have to change because I already mentioned our road is not going to be smooth and flat. And I use the sunflowers, not sunflowers to a sample. The people a lot offer sunflowers to us a lot. That I always said. You have a sunflower right there, right? Okay. That sunflower, when it's still like a bud, right, like this, it's always whipping down like this, right? It's It's not going upward, but it's whipping down. It's born to be like this, not like this. But then every day, when it's grow older and bigger, and it will gradually moving upward to the sun. And then when it's straight and it head to the sun, waiting for a time to bloom. It means our life is the same thing. In this life, we have encountered a lot of sufferings, a lot of things in our life that make us suffer. And we are like this. We are like this. But when we know that we have to be like this, it means that every day we have to change ourselves. Every day we need to practice to overcome difficulties. Little every day. Until you stand up upright. Head to the sun. Stand upright. Not whipping anymore. But during the practicing, we always like this. Failing after failure. Right? We fail this one time after another. Keep on failing ourselves. But it's okay. As long as you try. You will stand upright. You will bear flowers. Right? So we should practice like that. Don't be afraid. If you fall down, stand up and walk again. If from here go out there, there's a step out there, right? If you happen to fall at the first step, stand up and walk again. But tomorrow, if you have to fall again, it gotta be the second step, not the same step. It means that we change to be better. Keep doing that. Myself, I encounter a lot of problems for myself. Even before I ordained to become a monk, and after I ordained to become a monk, I encountered a lot of problems, a lot of challenges. And that is how I practice patience. So without those times, I won't be like this now. So I appreciate all those people who brought a lot of stuff, things, not happy things to my life back then, that I call them as a teacher. They are all my teachers because they have taught me how to manage my emotions, how to stay calm, even though their intention wasn't that friendly, right? But if we can manage our emotion, our feelings, then they will become your teachers. That's how we practice ourselves. No hate. It doesn't matter what they do. If you practice love and kindness, then there will be no hate, no anger. Because we are connected. Maybe in the past we already family members, and in the future we'll see each other again. Nowhere to escape. So you rather have a friend instead of an enemy. And we are very grateful that when we're born, we don't remember our past. If we remember our past, we will go crazy. You know why? Imagine the husband and wife where you live with right now. If you remember your past, he could be the one who killed you. He could be the one who done something that is hurtful to you. Or he could be our parents. We don't know. That is why we are very grateful that we don't remember our past life. But in order for us to know our past life, there's one way. You want to know? Okay, curious. Let me tell you how we can tell our past life. In order for us to know our past life, look at what we are getting right now, in this lifetime. Good or bad? If you live happily and peacefully and you have a good life within this lifetime, It means your past life you have done a lot of wholesome things. But in opposite way, then it means you have done a lot of unwholesome things. And if you want to know your future, simply just look at what you are doing right now. That will tell your future. So we only spread peace, loving kindness, and compassion to the universe only. If we can do that, this whole universe will receive that message and shower back down with love and kindness and compassion for all people in this world, in this country, and around this world to have a better place to live. Right? When we can do that, no more hatred, no more angers, no more delusion and greedy mind or anything like that throw into the world, to the universe. This world will change. But it requires the effort of all beings doing this together, not just the venerable monks. We have to walk on this journey together until the end of our life. That's how we make this world to be a better place for our future generation to live. And ourselves. Can we do this? Yes. And so we will practice by writing down that statement. Today is going to be my peaceful day starting from tomorrow morning. Yes? Why is it so low energy with that yes? Well, you have to give yourself some energy. Okay? We have to do this together. Have to do this. Okay? No more wasting. No more time to waste. This is our last call. Our last call, your last call. We don't have time left. We don't have much time left. So I wish you all be well, be happy, and be peaceful. And today I think it's still going to shower down with snow, ice. I think tonight is going to be bad. So please stay in the house, keep yourself warm, and then be careful when you go out. Okay? Be mindful. Thank you very much. Any question?
Thank you.
Thank you.
We had staying at the church and give talk at the churches many times. Thank you, baby. Thank you. This is the sunflower lady.
Good job. Good job.
What made you choose this path?
I think it's meant for us to meet.
How long have you been a monk?
17 years. I ordained to become a monk for 17 years after graduated and went to work for 2 or 3 years. And I quit to ordain to become a monk. I think that path is not the one that I want to walk on. So I chose this path.
Thank you. So I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
If I'm a good person in this life, does it mean I did a bad thing to my past life?
If you are a good person in this life,
If I do a lot of good deeds now, is it me trying to make up for bad karma in the past, or was I a good person?
okay, in our religion, because when you ask that question, I have to answer you this, okay? But please be mindful and please understand that we are not here to talk about religions. I just want to share with you so that you understand. Regardless of what we get in right now, there are so many lives in the past, not just one life. Okay, and then when we already committed to anything that is wholesome or unwholesome, we cannot do this to replace the other one. When it's already become a karma, we cannot replace it. But what we can do is, we continue doing good things. The more you do in wholesome things, the more it pushes back all the bad things. so it won't have a chance to come. There's a lot of shampoo that I want to give out. Just like, for example, there's a dense forest, okay? A really dense one. No light, no nothing. And there's far away, the end of that forest, there's a very little bitty light. And there's a deer keep on running towards that light. A deer, okay? Keep on running and running and running. And there's a tiger right behind that deer, chasing that after that deer. And then there's the flowers, some beautiful and young grasses along the road. So that deer stopping just because of attract to those flowers and grass. The deer stopped to chew those flowers and grass. It means that the tiger behind it will chase closer and closer to the deer, right? The more the deer stop, the closer the tiger is to grab that deer. It means we are, as a deer, trying to run out from this world. The dense forest with no light, it means that when we born into this world, it's full of all the bad suffering things. Being born, aging, illness, death, these are four truths that everyone has to go through, right? And it's all kind of sufferings around us. So I use that example as a deer keep on running and running. But when we attach to something, we stop from doing all the good things. Stop from practicing to liberate all kinds of sufferings. It means that you stop to eat the grass, eat the flowers, and look at the flowers and things like that. The more we stop from doing all the good things, the more the bad karma that we have created in the past come closer and ask us to pay off. The bad karmas mean the tiger. So you don't want to stop in the middle way of running out of this forest. It means that after today, when we walk, when we meet with each other right now, I share the key, I share the message of practicing mindfulness, loving kindness and compassion, so that we can liberate all kinds of sufferings for ourselves and our family. It means that we keep on running every day. That's why I say we have to practice diligently every day. To have peace is not something that people can bring to us, but we have to practice. This is a practice. And of course, when we stop practice, it means that we go back to our old age struggle again. So no replacement, but the more you keep on running and doing wholesome things, all those bad things will not have a chance to come to you. That's it. Very simple and easy, right? So keep on running, don't stop. When you stop, it means that you're willing to face with all the challenges in this world. So regardless how tired you are, keep on running, keep on running. Run to the light, not running for material or anything anything in this world, but run towards that light to get out of this dense forest. Our life, human beings, deserve better.
Mm-hmm.
So what advice would you give somebody who feels lost even if they have everything?
I'm sorry?
What advice would you give somebody who feels lost and they're not poor when you have a wife, you have your kids, you have everything going for you, but you still feel lost?
Lost. You have everything, but you still feel lost. We need to ask ourselves, what is the purpose and what are we asking for in this world? What are we looking for? There's a guy in the prison. I went there to teach mindfulness meditation in prison.
We live in a world that often feels like it is spinning faster than our ability to catch our breath. We wake up to alarms, rush through traffic, scroll through endless feeds of bad news, and juggle a dozen responsibilities before our morning coffee has even cooled. In this high-velocity existence, the search for peace can feel like a desperate hunt for a mythical treasure. something we hope to find out there once the circumstances are just right. We tell ourselves that we will be peaceful when the election is over, when the project is finished, when the kids grow up, or when the bank account hits a certain number. We look to governments to legislate safety and to armies to enforce order, believing that if the external world would just settle down, our internal world would follow suit. But this is the great illusion of our time. As the spiritual leader of the Walk for Peace pilgrimage, Venerable Bhikkhu Panikkara reminds us with gentle but piercing clarity, we are looking in the wrong direction. Peace is not a destination we walk toward. It is the ground we must learn to walk upon. Right here, right now, in the messy, imperfect center of our lives. The journey to this internal sanctuary does not begin with a grand philosophy or a retreat to a mountaintop. It begins with the intimate, often uncomfortable physiology of our own emotions. We have all felt the spark that precedes the inferno. You know the sensation. Someone cuts you off in traffic, or a colleague makes a dismissive comment, and suddenly, there is a physical shift. It starts in the chest, a tightness, a flicker of heat. It is a literal burning sensation, a rising temperature that spreads upward from the heart to the throat, eventually consuming the head. When that fire reaches our eyes, we are no longer in control. We are reacting, not responding. The chest is hot, the mind is clouded, and we say things we cannot take back. This is the universal anatomy of anger. It is a biological alarm bell ringing in the night. The moment we notice this burning is the critical juncture, the fork in the road between suffering and freedom. The Venerable teaches us that the antidote is immediate and always accessible, the breath. It sounds almost too simple to be effective, yet it is the only tool powerful enough to douse the flames of the ego. When the burning starts, we must stop and take a deep breath, then another, and another. By the third or fourth inhalation, if we truly focus on the sensation of the air entering and leaving the body, the heat begins to dissipate. The biology shifts. The nervous system downshifts from fight or flight to rest and digest. However, the mind is a restless creature, and as soon as we try to focus on the breath, the world intrudes. A car honks, a phone beeps, a knee itches. Our instinct is to fight these distractions, to get angry that the world isn't being quiet for us. But mindfulness asks us to do something radical, to befriend the distraction. If a beeping sound pulls your attention away, you don't need to fight it. You simply acknowledge it. You say to yourself, sound, sound, sound. You name it. By naming it, you strip it of its power to irritate you. It is just a sound, a vibration in the air. It is not a personal attack. If there is pain or an itch, you acknowledge pain, pain, or itchy, itchy. You observe it like a scientist observing a specimen, without judgment, and then you gently usher your attention back to the breath. This return, the act of coming back to the breath again and again, is the practice. It is not about having a mind that never wanders. It is about having a mind that knows how to come home. This practice of returning to the breath is training for the most important battle we will ever fight, the war inside ourselves. We are often so eager to go out into the world and fight for causes, to argue with strangers on the internet, or to battle our neighbors. Yet we surrender daily to our own impulses of greed, hatred, and delusion. We lose the battle with our own temper before breakfast. Yet we think we can bring peace to the world. It is a contradiction. As the Venerable Wisdom suggests, why would we want to go out and fight a war out there when we are constantly losing the war in here? If we cannot govern our own chest, how can we expect to govern a nation? True peace, the kind that endures, must begin within. It is an inside-out process. When you win the victory over your own reactivity, when you can feel the heat of anger rising and choose to breathe instead of burn, you become a portable generator of peace. This internal state immediately radiates outward to your partner, your children, and your colleagues. It spreads step by step, family by family. We see this manifested in the simple, profound acts of community, like standing in the freezing cold to wait for the walking monks. In those moments, when people leave the comfort of their heated homes and wait for hours in the snow just to catch a glimpse of peace in motion, they are not tired or angry. They are happy. They are joyful. Why? Because they are aligned with a higher purpose. They have brought their internal peace to meet the external occasion. They are proving to themselves that the cold weather cannot touch the warmth of a heart that has decided to be peaceful. But how do we sustain this warmth when we aren't standing on a roadside cheering for pilgrims? How do we keep it when we are washing dishes or stuck in a Zoom meeting? The secret lies in the sacred art of single tasking. We live in an era of chronic multitasking, which is really just a state of chronic distraction. We watch a movie while eating dinner, and as a result, we neither truly see the movie nor truly taste the food. We are ghosts in our own lives, present nowhere. We chew without knowing what we are chewing. We watch without seeing. This fragmentation of attention is a form of suffering. It keeps us skim reading the book of life instead of living it. To reclaim our peace, we must reclaim the present moment. The instruction is beautifully stark. When you eat, just eat. When you change your clothes, just change your clothes. When you wash the dishes, just wash the dishes. Give the mundane activity your full, undivided reverence. This requires a conscious reprogramming of our habits. We can start each morning with a simple, powerful vow. Today is going to be my peaceful day. Write it down. Say it out loud. Set the intention. Then, when the chaos of the day attempts to hijack you, you have a baseline to return to. You can say, "No, I promised myself this would be a peaceful day." And you return to the task at hand. You put down the phone while you drink your tea. You listen to your child without planning your response. You inhabit your life fully. This is how we break the old habits of distraction and build a new habit of presence. Of course, the road to this kind of transformation is not smooth. It is not a paved highway. It is a rugged path filled with stones and stumbling blocks. We will fail. We will lose our temper. We will find ourselves scrolling through our phones while eating lunch, forgetting our vow. This is inevitable, but we must not judge ourselves harshly for these stumbles. We must look to the wisdom of nature, specifically the sunflower. Consider the sunflower. When it is just a bud, it doesn't stand tall and proud immediately. It is heavy. It whips downward, bowing toward the earth, seemingly too weak to hold itself up. It looks like a failure, but it doesn't give up. Day by day, as it grows, it slowly begins to lift its head. It strengthens its stalk. It begins to orient itself toward the light. It moves from a posture of drooping defeat to a posture of majestic uprightness. Facing the sun, ready to bloom. Our lives are exactly the same. We start out bowed down by our habits, our traumas, and our conditioning. We are whipping down, weighed heavy by life. But the practice of mindfulness is the sunlight. If we keep orienting ourselves toward it, we slowly straighten up. The key is to understand that falling is part of the rising. The Venerable offers a compassionate perspective on failure. If you fall down on the first step, that is fine. Stand up and walk again. If you fall down tomorrow, just make sure you fall down on the second step, not the first one again. And if you fall on the second step, the next day aim for the third. This is progress. It doesn't matter how many times we fall, as long as the trajectory is moving forward, as long as we are learning. We don't need to be perfect. We just need to be persistent. We need to love ourselves enough to give ourselves the time to grow. Just as we would give a flower time to bloom. We don't scream at a bud for not being a blossom yet. We water it. We must water ourselves with patience. There is, however, an urgency to this growth. We cannot be complacent, because there is something chasing us. Imagine a dense, dark forest with no light, a place of confusion and danger. This forest represents the world of suffering, the cycle of birth, aging, illness, and death that we are all caught in. We are like a deer running through this dark forest, desperately trying to reach a small speck of light in the distance, the exit. the liberation, the ultimate peace. But running behind us, breathing down our necks, is a tiger. This tiger represents our past karma, the consequences of our unskillful actions, the momentum of our history catching up to us. As we run toward the light, we see beautiful distractions along the path, lush patches of green grass, vibrant wildflowers. These are the sensory pleasures of the world. Wealth, fame, hollow entertainment, the fleeting highs of material success. The deer, tempted by the grass, stops running to take a bite. It stops to smell the flowers. It forgets the danger, but every moment the deer stops to graze. The tiger gets closer. The gap narrows. The darkness closes in. This metaphor is a chilling reminder of why we practice. We are running for our lives. We cannot afford to stop and lose ourselves in the flowers of distraction. We don't have to be perfect, but we have to keep moving. We cannot undo the past. The tiger is real, and we cannot delete our history or the mistakes we have made. But we can outrun the consequences by creating such an overwhelming momentum of goodness in the present that the past can never quite catch us. We replace the darkness with light. The more wholesome actions we perform, acts of kindness, moments of mindfulness, gestures of generosity, the faster we run toward the light. We don't run out of fear. We run out of a love for the light. We run because we know that we deserve to be out of the dark forest. We deserve to be free. As we run this path, we will inevitably collide with other people. Some will help us, but others will hinder us. We will encounter people who are rude, hurtful, or unfair. It is easy to view these people as enemies, as obstacles to our peace. But from the high vantage point of wisdom, these people are not enemies. They are our greatest teachers. Without them, how would we learn patience? It is easy to be peaceful in a quiet room. It is much harder and much more meaningful to be peaceful in the face of an insult. The people who bring difficulty into our lives are testing our resolve. They are giving us a pop quiz on our mindfulness. The Venerable invites us to consider a profound possibility, because we are all connected in the vast web of existence. The person hurting you today might have been your best friend, your mother, or your beloved child in a past life. We simply don't remember, and this lack of memory is a mercy. If we remembered every slight, every betrayal, and every murder from our past lives, we would go crazy with grief and rage. We wouldn't be able to look our spouse in the eye. We wouldn't be able to trust our parents. The forgetting is a gift that allows us to start fresh. It allows us to look at an enemy and say, I don't know who you were to me before, but in this life, I choose to treat you with kindness. We can choose to end the cycle of hatred right here. With us, we can choose to have a friend instead of an enemy. When we practice loving kindness, we are not just being nice, we are dissolving the ancient knots of karma. We are turning the tiger into a kitten. Ultimately, this entire journey, from the burning chest to the breathing room, from the drooping bud to the upright flower, from the dark forest to the light, is a last call. There is a solemn urgency in the Venerable's voice when he speaks of time. We act as if we have forever to get our lives together. As if we can start being kind next year, or start being mindful when we retire. But we don't know how much time we have left. The snow is coming. The winter is approaching. The sun is setting. Enough is enough, the Venerable says. We have suffered enough. We have spent enough lifetimes chasing our tails in the dark. It is time to wake up. It is time to declare, today is my peaceful day. And really mean it. It is time to treat our breath like the lifeline it is. It is time to run toward the light, not with panic, but with a steady, joyous determination. So, let us take this message to heart. Let us stay warm, both in our bodies and in our spirits. Let us protect our peace as fiercely as we protect our children. Let us walk together, step by step, breath by breath, out of the forest and into the sun. The path is open. The light is calling. All we have to do is keep walking.